I've never told anyone this, but I almost quit YouTube in October of 2020 because I was so frustrated, trying so hard, getting no results. And just 2 months later, on that same channel, I made $115,000 just from YouTube ad revenue. I now have 5 million subscribers and have made millions of dollars. If you don't believe me, look at my channel Serum. I'm also known as Belmont. I didn't quit because of this one book. It's actually not this book, it's The One Thing by Gary Keller. So what the book talks about is this graph right here. It starts out with one domino that's just 2 inches tall. When one thing, the right thing, is set in motion, it could topple many things. Did you know that a single domino is capable of bringing down another domino that's 50% larger? By the 19th domino, it's 246 feet tall, and by the 57th, it's almost the distance to the moon. When you first start out with something like YouTube, it seems slow. You feel like you need to increase your skills. So you may quit or you may continue. When you choose to stick with it and improve, you are now better than everyone just starting out because you're past that phase now. The more knowledgeable and experience you get, the more people you edge out in skill level. Do you know what the most popular demographic is for literally anything? Beginners. So as soon as you become intermediate at something, you're already better than basically 90% of the people doing that thing. This is where you're going to start seeing really good results. By the time you're a master, you literally feel like a god at that thing, but most people never get there. At that point, there's literally no reason of doing anything else because you've dedicated such a big portion of your life mastering it, which allows you to always be successful or make money from it. So why start something completely different from the ground up, playing on the same level everyone else is playing at, struggling when you could just continue with the thing you've mastered? This domino geometric progression illustrates how consistent actions towards your most important goal can lead to exponential results. Rather than trying to do everything, you focus on doing the most important thing well. Getting extraordinary results is about creating that domino effect in your life. The key is over time. Success is built sequentially. When I considered quitting YouTube, I thought of all the success that I had in the past. I felt like I couldn't replicate it. At this point in 2020, I did have 3 million subscribers, but my channel was super dead, pulling 5 to 10,000 views a video, and I would argue that reviving a dead channel like that is harder than starting a new one. I kept telling myself that YouTube changed and my strategy wouldn't work, which both of those were correct. But all I had to do was update my strategy with all my YouTube skills that I've learned over the past 8 years. Now, you probably aren't in the position I was in when I had a dead channel. You're probably starting a new channel and haven't had any massive success yet. The key is to stick with it. If you're already 1 year deep doing YouTube, you've already edged out most people. You might feel like you haven't made much progress, but you could be just one video away from your big break. This leads us to the next lesson of the book, channeling all your efforts into one thing. Aside from normal daily activities like eating, gym, leisure, all of your work time should be going to one single project. Think of having an energy bar above your head. If you have 2 projects instead of 1, you can only give each one of those 50% effort, which basically means you're half-assing them. How do you expect to beat everyone else when you're not trying your hardest? So don't separate your efforts onto multiple projects. Only build one at a time, and that goes for the initial hard phase. Then you get into maintenance phase, and here is where you can start branching out. In this case, building a YouTube channel to your desired views or money every month. Then you can outsource things like video editing, thumbnails, scripting to free up your time. And from there, you can start a new channel if you want because you have time, but make sure the channel that was originally successful stays successful, right? Because it's in that maintenance phase where it's easier than getting it up off the ground. You have a system in place, the format you have is working, but the moment you hit a roadblock there and you need to put your attention back into it, you have to take your attention away from the second thing and put it back into the first. So don't bite off more than you can chew. Think very carefully. It's better to have one successful channel than to have 3 channels that failed. In my 13 years of doing YouTube, I've made many friends along the way, and at every stage, I've seen them start new channels and give up on a channel, post new content. They never stuck with one type of content. They kept jumping around. Because of that, they never became a master at their craft, and they ultimately failed. I've always stuck with one channel through Minecraft, Call of Duty, and reaction videos. I now have 5 million subscribers, but I did reaction videos since 600,000 subscribers. Because you don't want to jump around too much content-wise on a specific channel, you want to think of it as a Netflix show. If people go to your channel, they're there for a specific type of content. The takeaway here is to pick a market and niche that has a high total addressable market and the ability for you to make videos on that topic for years to come so you have long-term success, not just become a one-hit wonder. Focusing on one type of content on one YouTube channel is how you win. Not only will you get better at YouTube as a whole, you'll become a master at that specific niche. I talk a lot more about this in the YouTube Bible, link in the description. This leads us into the next lesson of the book. When everything seems urgent and important, everything seems equal. We become active and busy, but this doesn't move us any closer to success. Activity is often unrelated to productivity, and busyness rarely takes care of business. Achievers always work from a clear sense of priority. Most to-do lists are survival lists, getting you through your day-to-day activities, but not making each day a stepping stone for the next, so that you sequentially build a successful life. If your to-do list contains everything, it's probably taking you everywhere you don't want to go. The majority of what you want will come from a minority of what you do. No matter the task or goal, it could be big or small. Start with as large of a list as you want. Then whittle away at it till you get less and less to-dos on your list until you have the most important one. There will always be just a few things that matter more than the rest. And out of those, one will matter most. Doing the most important thing is always the most important thing. So what are these things for YouTube? Number 1, video ideas, and number 2, the packaging. When this book saved me from quitting YouTube, it reminded me to focus on the things that allowed me to be successful on YouTube in the past. So I reformulated my video format to make no compromises for the YouTube algorithm. Then I based my video idea on something remarkable and packaged it in a way that would do it justice. Don't get me wrong, how good your video is does matter. It can reduce or increase the ceiling of views on your video. However, if the idea is remarkable, it will get views no matter what. Versus if you had a bad video idea with a great video itself, it's not going to get views just because it has good retention. So having a remarkable idea is the most important thing. Then the packaging is what multiplies your views. But even when you're equipped with good advice, you might be wondering, sticking with YouTube for a long time is hard. How can I make it easier? The book answers this. Success is actually a short race. A sprint fueled discipline just long enough for a habit to kick in and take over. When you discipline yourself, you're essentially training yourself to act in a specific way. Stay with it long enough and it becomes a routine. In other words, a habit. Lucky for you, you can be successful on YouTube with less discipline than you may think. For one simple reason, success is about doing the right thing, not doing everything right. This can liberate you from having to monitor everything. It takes roughly 66 days to form a new habit, so don't give up on YouTube before 66 days. Give it 3 months, and YouTube will become so much easier when you establish a routine and a strategy. The initial work is always the hardest, and when you do YouTube, nobody's holding you accountable, nobody's telling you what to do, it's all up to you to figure out. Except for, in the YouTube Bible, the holy grail of YouTube knowledge, you can get it in the description below. The book teaches us that the most successful people are the most productive people. If disproportionate results come from one activity, then you must give that activity a disproportionate amount of time. You should time block these 3 things in this specific order. Time block your time off, time block your one thing, and time block your planning time. The ones who are productive and get the best results design their days around doing the one thing. Now in chapter 17, it talks about the 4 thieves of productivity: the inability to say no, the fear of chaos, poor health habits, and an environment that doesn't support your goals. The way to protect what you've said yes to and stay productive is to say no to anything that could derail you. When you say yes to something, it's imperative to know what you're saying no to. Saying yes to everyone is the same thing as saying yes to nothing. You can't please everyone, so don't try. A request must be considered to your one thing, which in this case would be YouTube, for you to be able to consider it. When you strive for greatness, chaos is guaranteed to show up. Personal energy mismanagement is a silent thief of productivity. High achievement and extraordinary results need high amounts of energy. So here's the highly productive person's daily energy plan from the book The One Thing by Gary Keller. First, meditate and pray for spiritual energy. Second, eat right, exercise, and sleep well for physical energy. Hug and laugh with loved ones for emotional energy. Set goals and plan for mental energy. Time block your one thing for business energy. which is YouTube, you should do these things as early as possible in the day for the best results. This way you get pulled through the rest of the day with little additional effort. Your environment should support your goals. You should have a clean space to record and edit your videos. Additionally, the people around you need to be supporting you. If they're bringing you down, you got to cut them out. When you clear the path to success, that's when you consistently get there. At any moment in time, there can only be one thing. And when that one thing is aligned with your purpose and sits atop your priorities, it will be the most important thing that you can do to launch yourself towards the best you can be. I can help you blowing up that channel you've always wanted to. Get the YouTube Bible link in the description. It's the holy grail of a YouTube knowledge where I share my strategy that I used to get 5 million subscribers. But don't miss out on the video that's on screen. I reveal a secret that's holding you back from getting more than a couple thousand views. And remember, focus on your one thing.